Hello, hello. Welcome back to the show, boys and girls. This is Miss Mythril, singing in at you. I'm very excited about today's important talks. You may have been noticing outside, we've been having a lot of different things changing in our environment. Do you know what I mean? If you've gone outside, you might have noticed that the grass is greener than usual. There are more flowers around. You might even hear the familiar sounds of wildlife all around you. Maybe honeybees are buzzing a little bit closer to you than usual. Don't worry, they won't hurt you. They don't hurt unless someone's trying to hurt them. Just let them go buzz along their way, and they'll go to the next destination. We're going to talk about those destinations today. We have come into a new season. After winter, when it's cold and there's a lot of snow on the ground, and sometimes we don't even have school because it's so cold. But that's called winter. And after winter comes spring. It can be a very exciting time for spring. In fact, it's a good time to get freshened up, shake those limbs out, and go out and play. I hope you're getting plenty of free time to play these days. It's very important, you know. So, we got a couple of quick words today. Today's word we're going to focus on flower. See the word flower there? Flower. Flower. That's the word flower. Oh, how many letters does it have? Can you count them? Very good. We'll count them one more time together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 letters. Look how colorful they are, too. Speaking of colorful, that's what flowers just are. Now, I'll show you a quick little illustration. There's that word again, illustration. That means I'm going to draw you a picture. Don't worry, I'm a quick drawer. I'm using brown for the dirt. Alright, don't peek. Show you in just a minute. Oh, let's move these letters up a bit. Done with that part. Used a lot of green, didn't I? Orange. It's Miss Mithril's favorite color. Ironically, I'm not using very much. Oh my goodness! I have a problem! Oh no! My pink's not working! Oh no. Well, I'll be leaving a review about that. That was my first time using the pink. I am disappointed. But that's okay. I'm not going to get angry, because I can quickly fix the problem, because I'm smart. When we have an unexpected problem, we work on how to solve it. That's my philosophy. I didn't want to use a lot of orange, because I just wanted the center to be orange. The upside to this problem that I just had is I get to use more orange. Alright, I am done. You are ready to see my illustration? There we go. You see my pretty orange flower? Originally, I was just going to have the center be the orange, and the petals out here were going to be pink. I was going to try something a little different. Now, you see the brown down here? This is the dirt. You might see a lot of brown or black dirt outside underneath the grass, and it's underneath the grass here. When a flower is a small little round thing called a seed, it starts under the ground, underneath the dirt. Eventually, when it gets enough of what it needs to grow, it grows, gets some green on it to make those leaves and stems. You see those? And finally, the last part is it turns into something colorful at the end with its petals and its center. And in this case, it's my orange thing. See that? Now, do you happen to know what two very important things that flowers need in order to grow? Take a minute and think about it. If you said water and sunlight, or something in that area, you are correct. Absolutely. Give yourself a nice kiss on the brain. Mwah! Pat, 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 pat. And if somebody next to you said it, go ahead and give their brain a kiss. Ready? Mwah! Pat, 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 pat. Maybe Jelenina can be my assistant on that. Mwah! Pat, 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 pat. I think she liked that. All right. So, water and sun, absolutely. Just move this over here. Now right there. Not as colorful as it usually is. Boop. Boop. And boop. Okay. Whoops. Almost misspelled it. Okay. Here they are. The words water and sun. Water has how many letters? Up here? That's right, 5 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a longer word because it's got 5 letters. But what about sun down here? Is that longer or shorter than the word water? If you don't have a way to look at it, you can always sound it out. Water. Water. Sun. Which one is quicker to say? Very good. Unless you talked really, really fast. But that's not the point. Sun only has 3 letters. 1, 2, 3. See that? Like I said, not as colorful today. Illustrate that a little bit for you. Ooh, but in this case, I get to use a lot of the orange. Because even though we draw suns as yellow, we can make them orange too. Hey, it's my sun. We can make it anything we want. You know what? I want to make him a happy sun. I'm gonna make him a happy little sun. Oh, what am I doing? Come back here. Almost done with my illustration. See? It's a happy little sun and water. It's more like a water drop. Now, if I wanted to, I could add more to make raindrops. You see how nature, even when we don't help them, gives them what they need? The sun is always there, in the daytime anyway, that we see. And water comes from what? That's right, rain. Good stuff, huh? That is one constant that we can always depend on. The sun and the water, no matter how the years come in and out, sun and water will be there. What we need is always provided. Or that's what the flowers would say. Okay. On that note, I'm so excited about this. Today's book is very, very cool. I think you'll enjoy it. It's about some children, a lot like you, that are wanting something to eat. The book's going to talk a little bit about how we get those things. Have you ever looked at something that you eat and you wonder where it comes from? Did you know that the bread in your sandwich and the peanut butter come from two different places? And a lot of different places that our food comes from the dirt and soil. That sounds a little gross, doesn't it? Don't worry, it's absolutely clean first. Ew. And I'll show you how. Okay, well, we're probably going to see a lot about seeds in this book, too. If you have this book at home, feel free to go grab it and join along in the pictures with me. You ready? Right this very minute. See, these are all the different places I was talking about where our food can come from. A Table to Farm book about food and farming by Lyle D. Dettlesman and art by Renee Curlia. Curula. Wow, what a pretty name. I'm sure Renee Curlia's artwork is just as pretty as her name. Look at all those different kinds of food that they got going on there. Do you see anything there that you like? I know I sure do. I see orange juice. Oh, pancakes. Oh gosh, pancakes are delicious. Hamburger. Oh, candied yam. Or sweet potato, rather. Not mushed up in the yam yet. Sweet potatoes right there. Oh, and look at that. What is that? Hold on, let me get a better look at that. Oh, ice cream with strawberries. Or that could be yogurt. Yeah, it's even better. Alright, let's get started. Oh, almost forgot. We have a dedication page to admire. For my sister, April, who feeds mines every day. How nice. For the farmers who work so hard to feed us all. Thank you. The first dedication was from Lyle, the author, and the second dedication was from Renee Curula, the illustrator. That's very nice. See this girl over here? She's working hard. She's using a hoe to scoop up and ferment the soil in the ground so they can make it easier for farming. All right. What's that you say? You're hungry for breakfast? Right this very minute? Then you need a farmer. What's she hungry for? Oops. You have the stories of so many right here on your table. Ah, see what I mean? See how she's looking at her yummy, yummy pancakes? And what's that right there? Yep, maple syrup. Mmm. Man, I could go make me some right now if I wanted to. Right this very minute in a citrus grove, a grower tests oranges for ripeness. When the fruit is ready, the harvesting crew will pick the oranges, which will be squeezed into the juice you drink in the morning. Right this very minute, in a new field on a wheat farm, a farmer drills furrows, the perfect depth for seeds. Look at that big machine he's using, making those furrows, basically lines of, well, lines in the soil to put the seeds in. Your pancakes were made with wheat that was grown, harvested, and then grounded into flour. See the wheat there? Have you ever seen a wheat field? They're very pretty. Right this very minute, in a sugar bush filled with maple trees, a sugar maker replaces old collection buckets with a new tubing system to carry maple sap to the storage tank. Oh, look, the collector also has her little girl helping. Oh, that's nice. It's always important when families work together. It makes the family stronger, you know? So these farms must be really strong because everybody's pitching in and doing their part. The sap will be boiled down into evaporators until it becomes thick and sweet like the maple syrup you've poured on your pancakes. See that big machine that they're using to make that yummy, yummy maple syrup? What's that you say? You'd like a snack? Right this very minute? Then you need a farmer. Well, Grandpa, you think you could just, you know, give them to me without lecturing me? Okay. You have the knowledge of so many right here in your hands. What's that snack that they're all reaching for? Can you tell what that is? Yep, trail mix. Oh my goodness, trail mix is so much fun to make. Just grab a couple of things, throw them together, and poof, you got a trail mix. Right this very minute, as the sun sets on a cranberry marsh, a grower starts protecting the crop from frost. The grower will be up all night checking the sprinklers that keep the plants from freezing, all so cranberries can become a part of your trail mix. Isn't that beautiful? Looks like they're working during the gloaming of the evening. Gloaming means just before dark. She's going to be up all night working with her little boy there. Right this very minute, on a southern farm, a peanut farmer installs soil sensors to make sure the fields aren't too wet or too dry. The sensors will help the farmer decide when and how much of the water these sensitive plants need. I know a little bit about that. Where I live here in Georgia, we have a lot of peanut farms. Not in my immediate area, but I know about them. I grew up in the country when I was very little. What's that you say? It's time for lunch, right this very minute? Then you need a farmer. You have the hard work of so many right here in your lunchbox. What's that little girl having for lunch? I see a sandwich. And do you see her apples? Yummy, yummy apples? That's right, right there. And some carrot sticks. She's got quite a balanced meal right there. Let's see what kind of farm we're looking at. Right this very minute, a dairy farmer tends the cows. The cheese in your sandwich was made with milk from cows that must be milked at least twice every day, whether it's a weekday, a Saturday, a birthday, or a holiday. See all the different cows? Woo! Sorry about that. Right this very minute, farmers till and test the soil for nutrients to make sure it's healthy before planting seeds that will grow into long, crunchy carrots. See, you gotta pay attention to the dirt before you grow anything important, you know? If the dirt is not healthy, the vegetables won't be healthy. Right? Ooh, how gorgeous. Oh, you see all those honeybees I was talking about? They're also helping the families too. If you ask nicely, sometimes you can get wildlife to help you out in exchange for a good home and good rest. Right this very minute, an apple grower works with the beekeeper to bring beehives into an orchard. Hundreds of thousands of honeybees will pollinate the pale pink blossoms, helping each tree grow many bushes of apples for you to enjoy. Do you know what pollinate means? It means they're helping the different things to grow. They jump from flower to flower and help them grow with the pollination. Pollination gets stuck on their body, and that's how they help. So next time you see that bumblebee, you say, "Thank you! Now go away." What's that you say? You're ready for dinner right this very minute. Oh my goodness, these families are hungry a lot. Then you need a farmer. You have the pride of so many right here on your plate. See how the family's sitting down to enjoy their dinner? Kind of like how you and your family do, huh? Oh, what's this yummy thing they're having? What do you see? Yep, looks like they're having cheeseburger with some lettuce, a salad on the side, and wow, loaded potato. Oh, with a lot of yummy cheese and onions too. Whoa. Right this very minute, a cattle rancher moves to herd to a wide pasture to graze. She cares for the cows and welcomes their calves into the world. When the calves are old enough, they will move to new pastures or feed yards before they are harvested for the beef that will be made into hamburgers. Right this very minute, a farmer plans a rotation, scheduled to keep the soil healthy and grow more of the very best vegetables, like the potato you've topped with broccoli and cheese. Oh, wow, it's a little different with what I thought. I thought it was onions. Looks a lot like it to me. I've never had broccoli on my potato before. Have you? What do you think it tastes like? Ah, I wouldn't mind trying it someday now that I think about it. Right this very minute, some farmers prepare produce for delivery to grocery stores and others box it up to sell at local farmers markets. Oh, I've been to a farmers market. They are so much fun. It's where people gather together, kind of like a carnival or maybe like an outside grocery store, and sell you the best products, trying to give you the best price for what they got. Before lettuce and tomatoes ever get tossed in a salad or put on the top of a hamburger, they must travel from the farm to hungry customers. See that? All that harvest is going into that big truck. It says Farm Fresh. That's very nice. What's that you say? You'd like dessert? Right this very minute? Then you need a farmer and sometimes a whole farming family. You have the dedication of so many right here on your fork. Oh, sounds like it's going to be an exciting part. We're going to see what kind of workers it takes to make our dessert. Right this very minute, a grower checks the weather forecast in a family-owned strawberry patch while workers help hundreds of visitors pick their own strawberries. Right this very minute, a family checks their backyard coop to make sure the chickens have enough feed and fresh water. Then they collect eggs that get made into foods like the shortcake in your bowl. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That was strawberry shortcake they were eating. If you ever get a chance to do strawberry shortcake, I highly recommend it. It is definitely Griffin approved. Very tasty. So it takes a lot of strawberries that you can pick yourself and chickens. What's that to say? You want to grow your own food right this very minute? Then you need to think like a farmer. You can help plant a garden right here in your community. Right this very minute, you and your friends, families, and neighbors can work together to choose which crops to grow in your gardens. And in a few months, you will enjoy healthy snacks and meals made with the fruits and vegetables you harvested yourself. There are some of the tools that you're going to need to get started with. Every single day of every year, farmers tend their crops, care for their animals, and work hard to feed their families and yours. Next time you eat your breakfast, snack, lunch, dinner, or dessert, remember that somewhere, right this very minute, there's a farmer to thank for your delicious food. And if someday you decide to become a farmer, right that very minute, you'll be doing your part to feed the world too. Did you know that that's a choice that you can make to when you grow up? It would be a lot of hard work, but you would be helping a lot of people too. The end. Hmm. You know, it's interesting because in my neighborhood, we do have our own community garden. I haven't contributed anything yet, but I'm thinking about doing it soon. Or at least seeing if I can build potting soil or soil that I can make in my backyard to grow some vegetables. I would love to grow some vegetables and flowers. Vegetables and fruits are things that we eat all the time. But do you know why flowers are important too? Do you remember the honeybees in the story, the way that they were jumping from flower to flower? Well, when you see a bee and they go from one flower to the next, they are helping to pollinate and spread the ability for them to grow. And probably helping some other plants and vegetables too. Okay. Would you like to see some really nice pictures of wildlife and flowers? I picked out some of the prettiest, most coolest pictures I could find just for you. So, Miss Mythril is going to go get set up. Hang tight for just a minute. I'll be right back, okay? See you just soon. Oh, have you seen these kind of creatures before? Aren't they adorable? Oh, let's see if Miss Mythril can start this over a little bit. Whoops. Alright, let's start with this one. Orange, Miss Mithril's favorite color. You see the pretty butterfly? And look at those flowers. Looks like it's just meant for the butterfly, huh? You see the pattern on its wings? Gorgeous. Oh, and here's that dandelion. These dandelions are the little puff balls that are made just of seeds, and when you blow on them, that helps spread the seeds to make more. Or the wind can help it too, but it's more fun to blow them yourself. And what's this little guy here? Isn't he cute? It's a rabbit. See his eggs? Right there, next to the flowers. See two blue eggs. Oh, and what's this little guy sitting amongst the flowers? If you said chipmunk, that's correct. They sure do like to stuff their cheeks full of food. Nuts and berries and sometimes flowers. Oh, and this gorgeous little hummingbird is working its way towards another flower. What color is this flower? That's right, it's red. Here are more of the dandelions. Look how perfectly round it is. This is what they look like when nothing has blown them away yet. This flower here are called snowdrop flowers. They look kind of sad or like they're wilting, but that's actually just how they look. Because they're white, that's why they're called snowdrops. Oh my goodness, can you see the smorgasbord of colors here? Wow, that'd be pretty enough for Mommy, wouldn't it? What colors do you see? All right. Okay, now it's time to move on to our activity. Mm-mm. Almost having some minor technical difficulties there. See if I can fix that up a little bit. Oh goodness. Oh no. As Baymax likes to say, oh no. Alright, so today's activity, let me get these out of the way, it's not what we're going to be using quite yet. Today's activity is going to be, we're going to do two quick things actually. I'm going to go ahead and start with the first one because this is something I would love to do. To start off with every day when we come together. You think you can tell me what this is? What does it look like? A flower pot, that's right. This is a flower growing kit. I have everything in this kit to grow flowers. Alright, you see I've got the potted soil in here. They actually made them into this disc right here. But when I add water to it, it's going to get full and grow. Can you believe that? Kind of like those toys that you have in the bathtub that grow and turn into like a big sponge, sometimes into a special shape. You're going to see the same thing happen here. Are you ready? Good, me too. Alright, so real quick, and uh-oh, looks like I got a little crack with my pot, but I think that's going to be okay. Alright, so we get this bottom here so that the dirt can breathe. Believe it or not, yes, dirt breathes apparently. And we get, okay, a little bit of a mess here, but that's okay. Alrighty. And right here in this little pack, it says Sunflower Bambino. These are what you call dwarf sunflowers. When they're all done growing, they will look like this. See the picture? Dwarf sunflowers. Alright, we're going to have to put that in last. First, let's get with the growing. Alright, you ready? I'm ready. So got my water right here, ready to go. Uh-oh, getting a little spill. Oh dear. Oh, good thing I've got a towel nearby. Come on, towel. Thank you. Alright, so I made a little bit of a spill. Alright, we're going to put it in a little bit more slowly. Alrighty. Do you see anything growing yet? Me neither. I tried doing this with some cactus and it worked out a bit better. Hmm. Now, whenever you're dealing with water, with any kind of project, any kind of water, no matter how much or how little, it's always important to keep a paper towel nearby. And a towel. Better do both. Put in a little bit more. I don't think I see much growing. Let's see if I can turn it over. Alright, let's try it this way. Oh, Miss Mythril might have to do this another time. It's a bit disappointing. What's happening? Yeah, the water's going right through. And straight through that hole, huh? Well, I'll tell you what. That is the first step to growing this. I am going to investigate a little bit more later, and we'll see if we can finish that up. But regardless, I will still show you the results in the future. Oh, you know what? Maybe that crack is worse off than I thought. Look at that. The water is seeping out of the crack. That's not good. Oh well. It's a good thing we had 2 activities planned today, huh? Alright, let's move on to the next activity. Miss Mythril is going to go get one more towel to wipe down the table, and we will continue the second activity. Because with this activity, the craft that we're about to do, it involves using paper, you see. And can we do very much with wet paper? No. So we got to make sure our work area is nice and clean. Put the sound bambinos over here. Alright, how's that feel? A little bit more. Whenever you're cleaning up your area, and if you need to use it right away for something else, it's a good idea to pat it down, like with your hand, and see how it feels. If it's still wet, even the little bit of moisture, it's good to just go ahead and wipe it down. Alright, so today's fun project we're going to do is we're going to make hanging 4-leaf clover charms. What color is a 4-leaf clover? Absolutely right. Green. Alright, so Miss Mythril's got everything we need. Now, if Mommy and Daddy went ahead and read ahead the list of things you'll need, this is some of it. And ooh, this Mythril almost wasn't completely prepared. We also need scissors and tape. Very important for both. Where are my grown-up scissors? Oh well. Okay, these will work. Definitely. Alright, so allow me to draw a 4-leaf clover for you real quick. Then I'll show you how to make one using the scissors. The shape of a 4-leaf clover kinda is like a heart, except you use it 4 times. Hence why it's called a 4-leaf clover. They say that if you find a 4-leaf clover, you are very lucky indeed. Because they're very rare, you know. In some stories, in some folk tales, like the ones that we read, they can grant wishes. Wouldn't that be neat? Can you imagine just walking along one day, maybe playing with your friends, and suddenly you find a 4-leaf clover, and you're able to start a wish? Alright. So that's how it's going to look. And I'll cut that out in a little while. Be sure to be asking Mommy and Daddy for help if you need it. Or Grandma and Grandpa. Or Aunt and Uncle. Or even Big Sister and Big Brother. Alright, so here's another way that you can do it to make that shape. You take the paper and you're going to fold it in half. If you've ever made a heart folding up a piece of paper, they're a lot of fun. Especially around Valentine's Day. Excuse me. This is very similar. So, start here. Now, instead of doing 2 hearts, because I folded in half, instead of doing 4 hearts, I folded in half, and we're only using 2. Alright, this one might look a little wonky, but I'm standing by it. It's my work, and it is important. Just like anything you make and create is important. Alright, so now that it's folded in half, see there's nothing on this side. Just gonna give it some cuts. Cut along the line as best as I can. Now these are also kind of special scissors. They kind of make a wave pattern, so it makes it easier to come around these curves. It's probably going to have an interesting shape too by the time I'm done. That's why I had them as my backup. Alright, see how that cutting's going? Alright. Ta-da! Another 4-leaf clover. Now, keep in mind when you're doing this yourself, you could add pretty much anything that you want to your 4-leaf clovers to make them pretty. You can color them some more. You can add decorations. As a matter of fact, Miss Mythril added some glitter to her pile. Glue glitter, to be more specific. I was going to use a gold one, but I like silver. So, see, I got some glitter glue right here. And I'm going to use just a little bit. Don't want to use too much. And kind of like when you're using jumbo crayons, the color just kind of like that. And voila! I have a sparkly 4-leaf clover! Woo! Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get the hanger. First of all, we're going to make some more space. All right, so I have me one thread here. You don't have to use the fancy thread that I'm using. You can in fact use pretty much any yarn or string that you have in the house. Be very flexible with this. Flexible. Alright, so you can either tie it or you can tape it, whichever you think will look better in the end. And I'm going to take this 4-leaf clover, tape the other end to it, or if you're feeling brave, you can glue it. Tape will hold it together a lot better though. That's just my recommendation. But you do you. And if you want to use tape, you might want to use the clearest kind you've got, like I've got. Hold still. Oh my goodness, this is so tiny. I wish I had some tiny hands here to help me. Could sure use it. It's not cooperating with my big hands. Alrighty. And this is another reason why I suggest using clear tape. See how you hardly see it? It's just kind of hanging on its own. Alright, and that's done. Well, it's one piece anyway. Now, I'm going to have to use our imaginations a little bit because it would just take way too long for me to keep going. But if you make more, you can make as many as you want along here, and you would have a hanging charm. And you could hang it on your door, or maybe even hang it on a light fixture safely, away from the bulb. Or you maybe just hang, see if mommy and dad will help you put a nail on the wall, or a hanger of some sort, and just hang it on the wall in your room. Maybe on the ceiling, so you can look at it while you drift off to sleep and think about how awesome of a job you did. So if you choose to do this activity, please send me pictures. I would love to see them. And in the meantime, I'll work some more on this later, but because it would just take so long to finish right now, I'm going to go ahead and put it down. And you can do this later too, and we will compare and see how we did. Alright, well, we have a little bit of time left, and it is time for our folktale time. So, go get big brother or big sister, or perhaps if you're the big brother or big sister, okay, get ready for the big story. Whoop, 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 whoop. Here we go. Alright. Today's story, as you might have seen in the side, on the side over there, the Black Pool. Alright, this one's actually kind of short. Many years ago, when the king of Laos still ruled the land, there was a prince of Nongkai named Warashid. Warashid had one great love, his son Tuma, and one great hate, the prince of Loe. And as fate would have it, Tuma fell in love with the daughter of the prince of Loe, Ratana. No one knows how Tuma met Ratana, for quite apart from the enmity between their fathers, it is a great distance from Nongkai to Loe, and in those days there were very few roads, if any. But somehow Tuma and Ratana met and they fell in love, and as soon as he was of age, Tuma went to his father to ask permission to marry Ratana. When Warashid had listened to his son's pleas, he replied, "Tuma, you know I would do anything for you except this. You know the Prince of Loe is a despicable man, If you were to marry Ratana, you would bring disgrace to our family." "But Ratana is beautiful and kind. You would be proud to have her for your daughter-in-law," Tuma insisted. "Nevertheless, I will not hear of it. From this day on, you must never meet her again." And in Loe at that time, the prince was telling his daughter, "You know, Ratana, that I would do anything for you except this. I cannot allow you to marry Tuma. Do you know who his father is? He is the evil Prince of Nongkai, and it is certain that you just as Wareshet is evil, so is Tuma, his son. Furthermore, you will only have to see this Tuma once or twice. You do not know him. If you knew him, you would not like him or his family. Take my word for it. They are not our kind of people. I am very sorry for you, but you will have to find someone else. I forbid you to ever see this Tuma again." Tuma and Ratana could not openly disobey their parents, but for several months they managed to send each other news through their messengers. They were very careful to receive the messengers when their fathers were not present, but one day Tuma's father caught the message her Ratana had sent. Tuma did not know what to do. His father would not trust him again, and he was now forbidden to see anybody except for one friend. Finally, he resolved on a plan. He asked his friend to carry a message to Ratana. "We have been friends for many years, but our friendship will soon end, for I have no desire to live," said Tuma. "But before I die, I ask you this one favor. It will not be easy, and if either my father or Ratana learns of it, you will probably be killed. For safety's sake, you must give the message to Ratana's best friend and ask her to take it to my beloved. To show Ratana that the message comes from me, take my ring." Through the two friends, the last message was delivered. "My father has learned of our messengers. I have taken a great risk in sending you this last message. My father is determined that I shall never see you again, even if he must keep me a prisoner until I die. Since we cannot live together, let us die together. I know of a little pool about 3 days from each of our homes. Let us meet there on the night of the next full moon." On the day agreed upon, both Tuma and Ratana disappeared from their homes and began the journey to the pool. Both of the fathers were soon in pursuit, bringing many men with them. But the land was covered with forests, and Tuma had taken the chance that it would be possible for one person to elude the searchers. However, when Tuma and Ratana met at the pool, their fathers were not far behind. They could hear the shouts of the search parties. "There's no time for us to think what we might have been," said Tuma. "The only way we can express our love is by jumping into the clear waters of this pool. Let our fathers come to the edge where we stand now, and let them see us together in death." At that moment their two fathers came into sight to their children of each other. While they were not to speak even to each other, both shouted, "Come back! You are forgiven!" Tuma was about to leap into the pool as the father shouted. Ratana turned around and looked at her father. Quickly she spoke. "Do you hear that, Tuma? Is there hope yet?" Tuma turned around towards Ratana. He looked at their fathers running towards them. "No, Ratana, there is none. Look at our parents. Still they refuse to talk to one another. Still they refuse to cooperate with each other. They are both running as fast as possible to be the first one here. Oh, they must take us home and forgive us this act, but they will never let us marry. My father would die rather than give his consent, and so would yours." Ratana was not certain. She watched her father running towards her. Tuma looked at the pool and said quietly, "Ratana, I know my father too well. Even if yours forgave you, mine would not forgive me. You cannot imagine how he hates your father, and he would not let me marry you, and I cannot live without you." With that he jumped into the deep pool. Ratana looked quickly at her father running, and then at the turbulent waters of the pool into which Tuma had just jumped. She could see his body sinking slowly, and then she, too, jumped. Shortly after the two fathers arrived at the edge of the pool, the water was still clear, and at the bottom they could see faint outlines of the bodies of the two young people. Ratana's father spoke first. "You villain, it is all your fault this has happened." "My fault? I suppose you think you are perfect, you vicious thief!" And they stood there arguing with each other. They noticed the mysterious ring. The waters of the pool, which had been as clear as crystal, were now becoming murky and black. They became so dark that it was impossible to find the bodies of the two young lovers. Saddened but unforgiving, the two fathers returned to their homes. The people living near the pool say the waters of the pool remained black for many years. They named it the Black Pool, or in Thai, Bihungarn. When the two princes became friends at last, the waters of the pool mysteriously became crystal clear once more. People say that this was a sign from the god Indra. As long as the enmity remained between the two princes, and as long as the ties would stay, their black-heartedness remained. The pool reflected it. When they forgave, the pool also reflected this in the only way possible. Even though hundreds of years had passed since Tuma and Ratana jumped into the pool, and even though it had been clear, it always retained the same name, Black Pool, reminding everyone of the hatred between the two princes. See, there's the picture of Ratana and Tuma together in the pool. You know, this really reminds me of another story called Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. It's a very similar story of two people from different cities where the families fought all the time, but they fell in love with each other. There was no pool, like in this story. Well, boys and girls, that's all the time we got for today. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you again on Wednesday, 10 a.m., with more fun, more activities, and I hope to hear from you and see you again real soon. Alright? See ya!